Hey guys, it's Alex, and today I'm here with the Booktube Real Talk tag. I've not done a tag in a minute on my channel because I've been too lazy to film, but I've been tagged in a bunch, so I'm gonna try to start catching up on those tags that I intend to do. For this tag, I was tagged by Justin at Triumphal Reads and Alan at Big Hard Books and Classics, and I will link both of their videos down below. They're definitely both worth checking out. This tag was originally created by Books with Alyssa J, who will also be linked down below. Question 1 is, what's something no one told you about BookTube before you started your channel? And for me, the answer is literally anything. I started my channel before I realized that BookTube was a thing. I was just bored, and my friend was a makeup beauty blogger, fashion blogger, whatever. The beauty bloggers and fashion bloggers do makeup hauls and clothing hauls, and I was like, ooh, I'm gonna do a book haul because I'm bored and can't do anything. Because I live in the suburbs, and that was back when I did not have a car. So I literally started my channel talking about books before I realized it was a community. But I guess I could say how time consuming it was going to be, because I had no clue when I started. I didn't know how to edit. I just had this old crappy camera that I got in 2012. It was just kind of a random thing, so not having any clue of what it actually took to film and create content and edit and turn it into something that was worth watching, which I have no idea if it is. But yeah, just anything, but mostly just the time issue, because now that I do actually do more things and don't just sit around doing booktube for 24 hours a day, it does take a great deal of time. Question 2 is, what is your opinion on typical booktube videos like wrap-ups, hauls, TBRs, etc.? They're fine. Do the videos you want to do. I guess specifically, I really like wrap-ups. They're probably one of my favorite kind of videos. I like reviews. I prefer the kinds of videos where people are talking about books they're currently reading or books they've recently read. That's just my preference. Hauls are fun. They're kind of that mindless fun of just here are a bunch of books that you may or may not have ever heard of, and people describing and talking about why they got them. TBRs I don't really watch too much just because it's not my kind of thing. I'll watch them if I like the person, but when I start running out of time to watch videos, TBRs are one of the first I skip. But do the videos that make you happy. They're all worthwhile videos to watch. Question 3 is, what is an assumption you had about BookTube before you joined, and was it proven correct or not? And like I said, I didn't know BookTube was a thing, so I didn't really have any assumptions. But once I did realize it was a thing, I kind of thought it would be more diverse. It's very diverse. I don't want to say it's not, but the people who get popular are popular talking about YA. That is what is big on BookTube. That's what originally created BookTube, I think. And I didn't know that coming in. I kind of thought everyone was just reading random books, and I didn't realize how many people were talking about what's popular, and especially what's popular in YA. That kind of took me by surprise, which I don't have an issue with. I like YA. You'll know I really enjoy YA. It's just that I always kind of read randomly. I just picked up books at random, not really knowing much about them. And the fact that so many people were talking about the same things just kind of took me off guard for a minute coming in. But like I said, that's not a bad thing. I just kind of didn't expect it. Question 4 is, what's one thing you've done that helped you grow your audience? And I literally have no idea. I don't have a big audience. I have 600 subscribers. That's by no means big, especially for having been here for over 2 years at this point. I don't know, talking to other people and interacting with people on their content instead of just doing it on your own. That's the only thing I've done to grow my audience at all. Everything else is just putting out content and hoping people enjoy it, and occasionally they do, which is fun. But yeah, I have not grown my audience, so I wouldn't look to my channel for how to grow. Question 5 is, what's one common mistake that you see new booktubers making, or one that you made? And I don't really see too many mistakes, just because people do different things and have different goals, so a lot of things aren't a mistake necessarily. They're just a difference in their channel. But the one thing that does get me is when people add music or sound effects to their videos, but they do it at a very different volume than their normal speaking audio. Especially if it's background music or theme music or just sound effects, it's so much louder than they're speaking. Because I listen to BookTube with headphones a lot, so sometimes it'll just theme music will just blast, or like the outro music after like this normal volume video, the outro music will just blast into my ears, and like that's really annoying. That's one of the few technical things that like will turn me off of a channel just because it's really annoying. And it's just the kind of thing where I feel like if you have the editing ability to add in audio, you also need to have the editing ability to make that audio the same volume as your other audio, if that makes sense, because it's like really annoying, and like it really is one of the few things that like bugs me about watching channels. Question 6 is, what are your thoughts on working with publishers or sponsorships? I have 600 subscribers. This is clearly not an issue I have faced myself. It does not impact me. It will not ever impact me, probably. I can't imagine that it would. I have a very small channel, but like if people want to work with publishers and sponsorships and like turn their Booktube channel into a profit, that's great. Like I don't have anything against that. I think it's wonderful that you turn a hobby that's really fun into a profitable experience. And question 7 is, do you think Booktube is dying? And I, of course, don't. I don't think I've watched anyone do this tag where they're like, yeah, Booktube's dying. Bye. That would be weird because we're all continuing to create content. But I think it's growing out rather than, like, up. And I mean that, like, the big Booktubers don't really seem like they're getting much bigger. But I feel like there are tons and tons of creators that are under 10,000 subscribers. And I feel like that number is growing a lot, and the smaller communities within Booktube are growing a lot because the horror community is so much more prevalent and so much larger than it was just a couple of years ago. Like, I see so much going on with the horror community now, and a few years ago it was just like small random horror booktubers being like, yeah, I'm like one of 4 people on here that read horror a bunch. And I think that's the way it's growing, so that like if you're only watching the bigger booktubers, it feels like it might be like shrinking a bit, or not shrinking, but like it doesn't feel like it's continuing to grow loads, while the smaller booktubers and the smaller communities that have been created within Booktube have grown a lot, at least like in my opinion from what I've seen. Although I don't watch the big booktubers very much at all, so maybe I'm completely off base here, but that's kind of like the way I look at it. And then 8 is tag your friends, and I think like everyone has done this tag. So I'm going to tag Angie from Literary Labors and Abby from Abby Mac Reads because I don't think either of them have done this. I'm sorry if you have, I did try to check, but yeah, I'll tag both of them, and of course anyone else who wants to do this tag, please feel free to, because I always do a bunch of tags that I don't get tagged in because that's really fun. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see y'all again soon.